On the Health Drive today is Shane Lynch. Wow, how many ladies, girls had pin-ups of Boyzone back in the 90s. And Shane was one of these domineering figures, tall, dancing, moody, fantastic looking guy. He's a really interesting man who has done phenomenal things in the world of music and then in the world of motorsport and beyond. And so we're chatting to him today about health, what he does to keep healthy, challenges that he's had, the benefits, hopefully, he's found of knowing me for the past year or so. So let's really enjoy our chat today with Shane Lynch on the Health Drive.
Doc,
it is good to see you.
You all right?
And I love the gear.
Oh, well, you know, there's two things for this.
Yeah.
Either one, you're going to a fancy dress party.
Yep.
Or two, we're going on a racetrack, Doc.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are going on a racetrack.
We're going on a racetrack.
This is the beauty of the Health Drive, is that we go anywhere and we go everywhere with the it's the first time it's been on a
racetrack?
On a circuit. It is.
We'll keep it steady, Doc. We'll keep it steady. We're welcome to Teesside.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we came all the way to Middlesbrough, to Teesside, this amazing track. And I've got to say, I've been watching you these last few hours, and it's like I know you in a completely different way.
Okay.
I've known you for a while, and we've chatted, and you're always phenomenal company. You're a beautiful man, from top to bottom, in terms of your humility and your calm, your grace, all those things. And today I saw the raw energy of pleasure, commitment. This is your stuff. You know, racing.
Commitment is a great word, in fairness. And I think, you know, when it comes to race cars, I've been racing all my life. Yeah. So the age of, I don't even know the age. Yeah. Let's go into the year. About the year 1988, thereabouts, up into the kind of stock cars and hot rods of Ireland. Yeah. Then from there, catapult all the way to the end of the 90s, because something got in the way. Okay. Called music. Indeed. Right? So I was a car mechanic. I worked for my dad. Yeah, that's my original trade as a young man. Yeah. Is not music. It's actually, I was a car mechanic. So I built kind of race cars and stocks with my dad. Yeah. He raced before me. So it's in my blood, without a shadow of a doubt. And then in the late 90s, after Boyzone kind of came to its peak, let's say, I got some amazing opportunities to go and drive some awesome teams. And I've been racing since late 90s all the way up into, I retired 5 years ago. I kind of changed different disciplines from your circuit racing, like for instance Silverstones that you see the Grand Prix on, and the discipline of car in that into a style of motorsport which you saw today called drifting. And drifting is race cars are on the edge. That's where race cars are. They're on that edge. And if you understand or watch Formula 1, and if they get it slightly twisted or slightly wrong, or the car steps out on them, they're going slow. So that's on the edge. Drifting is past the edge. So we initiate the out of control and maintain the out of control, but control it, if that makes sense at all.
It does absolutely. And this is your passion. This is where you feel the most at home on a racetrack. Is that a place where you are one with yourself? It's a happy place to be? Without
a doubt. I think when I retired about 5 years ago, now I'm back in a race suit now for a reason, because I'm coming back, as they say, you know.
Yeah, the return.
We're coming back, the return.
Yeah, absolutely.
The return of the Lynch. And I kind of retired because of pressure. I retired because I think, you know, I went up through different disciplines, and it gets really tough at the top trying to win championships. You know, you got a team behind you. You got all your mechanics, you got all your sponsors, you got everything, and all they want you really to do is win. And when you're not winning, it can be difficult. Or it doesn't even have to be your own fault to be in the back of the pack, but just a simple car break. Now, motorsport, again, is probably, it's not easy on a car. You know, you're pushing your car to the limits, all those nuts and bolts to their limits. Drifting, again, is kind of a little bit past pressure. Like you're maintaining out of control is a lot of pressure. But once you find your rhythm, find your dance, find your flow, and find your style of driving, you know, then you'll find who you are as such. And I think for me, I took great pleasure in just watching other people and how they drove over the last few years. And then eventually I decided to sit back in the seat just to see if I could do it, just to see if I could still drive. And instantly, my whole joy, my whole love, my whole brain went, why are you not driving a drift car, man? And so this is kind of my, out of the dust and the race boots down, not the dancing shoes, but the race boots down, and getting back out and building a nice show car, not necessarily a competition car, although she would definitely get into competition, but I think this is where my adrenaline gets turned up. This is where I get fed from, and I think it's been my identity for many, many years. And weirdly, when I kind of stopped driving, I lost something. Weirdly.
Like some sort of connection with yourself, or just sort of these sort of peaks of these are all achievements, aren't they? These are you train for something, you do it, you reach the peak, you push yourself to the extreme, and there's a buzz to that, isn't there? There's a buzz to a bit of stress. It sounds like it got too stressful, like the stress started to overwhelm the pleasure. But when you get back into it, these little stresses, because I've seen you drive here, it's quite scary. I mean, you go at some herring, crazy speeds. You get to 100 miles an hour within a few feet of this straight, and then you are burning around these corners. Smoke is everywhere. I can hear the noise of the car on the edge. And this is where your adrenaline is up. It's exciting, and suddenly you feel that bit more alive. I hope you're enjoying the Health Drive with Shane. I am loving it. I am loving driving with him. And when we go drifting, that's going to be a fantastic experience. How often do you get the chance to drift in a car with Shane Lynch? I'm very, very lucky. So keep watching the second half of Shane Lynch's Health Drive. Hi, Dr. Andre here. Well, thanks for watching the Health Drive, and check out our all-natural supplement range, Optimum Day and Night. Now, thousands of people in the UK, the USA and beyond have been using the Oxford Natural supplements to get better sleep, better energy and better overall well-being. Optimum Day, which I always use, is designed to boost energy, to curb cravings, and to keep your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night, well, that's different. That helps you to relax, to sleep deeply, and to restore while your body is recharging overnight. Now, they aren't magic pills. They are a science-based way to help you feel your best. We've had such great results. Check out Michael Owen, the England footballer, Robbie Lyle from AFTV, Linda, a PI lawyer, Anita, an immigration lawyer, and Owen from United View. All of them have found better control of their daily habits, better mood, energy, focus. And now it's your turn. So scan the QR code, click the link, and use the code word DRIVE for 70% off your first order. Oxford Natural. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Let's get to it.
Yes, without a doubt. And interestingly enough, I probably realised I'm kind of shouting. Now, just listening to you, Doc, and you're quite calm and tired. I've just done a few laps in a drift car. Aiden noise is extreme in there. So I'm trying to, and I've been talking to my mechanic each time I rolled into the pits, opening the door. So I'm elevated in my voice anyway, my excitement and my voice of noise. So by the time we get out of here, I'll be back down to a normal level, Doc.
It normally takes an hour or two to come down, I guess, from these things. But then I watched you taking care of the car, because whilst it looks wild and you're flying it everywhere, you noticed that it started to get a bit warm in there, didn't it? The coolant level.
She's running hot.
Heating up, running hot. So giving a lot of pleasure, fantastic excitement, what you want out of it. But actually, the second you saw it was running hot, what did you do? You sort of brought her in at that point in time.
Bring her in to cool her down, because, you know, a lot of things happen in an engine. So you've got what's called your pistons that go up and down, which basically that's your power. When they start to get too hot, they get squeezed a little. So the power starts to get slightly retained. Now that's no good for an engine. So that will wreck an engine. So you've got to just keep a particular temperature just to, and also it's a brand new engine, so we're kind of running her in. You know, it's never been on a circuit before. It might have had some what's called axle stands just turning over and running in, but not actually power through too often. So to make sure and maintain a good heartbeat, let's call it, that, because the engine is the car's heartbeat. You just got to run it at a nice temperature. The cooler you can stay in that car at maximum, would you say, drift or maximum speed, if we can get the car to do that, then she's operating in a beautiful place, because we can continue over and over and over again, as opposed to having to come in and cool her down, having to come in. So that's finding that good kind of temperature within the heart.
I think the analogy there between the body and health, and how when things start to run really hot, you want to bring it down a little bit. This is the idea of preventative medicine, is that we check things. And I've checked some stuff with you in the past.
Yes.
We check things and we say, when you bring the car in, because it's heating up, the car isn't broken. It still work. It'll still do everything you want it to do and create the same energy and excitement, but to a cost.
Yes.
A cost to the engine, whereby it may become damaged, whereby you can't quite repair it the same
100%.
way. And this is the key to what we call preventative medicine, is how can I find in you when you rev hot?
Right.
You might not know it. A car feels the same. You wouldn't know it until you look at the dial and go, oh, actually that shouldn't be that way. And then we say, well, can we bring things down a bit? We can still get the fun, but we have to tailor it. And you can't quite live life. You could not drive home back to D-side that way, could you? You'd be exhausted. Your brain would be scrambled. You'd be sweaty. You'd just covered in filth and dirt and oil. You can't just do it. You can do it in bits.
Very good.
And so I think that idea, and also the second it got hot, you came straight in. You didn't say, whatever, there's a mechanic, he'll repair it, not my problem. You took ownership of it.
Yes.
And you brought it in. And nature gives us this incredibly complex body that will do all these phenomenal things, but sometimes we let it run too hot.
Okay.
And then we just keep going. And we keep going as though there's always a mechanic to finish at the end.
Okay.
Whereas, I'd like us to treat the body where you treated that car, is it does what it does, it's incredible. Oh, that's running hot, let's bring it in. Let's just cool it down a little bit. I think that is a reasonable...
So you're saying in life sometimes we need to back off slightly, just to calm what the body maybe was used to as a young man or a young woman, and then you can go a little bit. You can't go like all the way like you used to go.
Yeah, there's a time when the car will, when you first get a brand new car, it will sort of let you you get away with a lot. But this car you're driving today is, you said yourself, it's about 15 years old or so, isn't it? So it can't be treated the same way.
It's got a new heart.
Yeah.
But what's the limbs inside it? Yes. So we gotta make sure the fingers are still stretched out and the arms are working, and the toes can still curl in and out, and we're figuring those bits of the car out. She's been sat around for a while. You can't just get up off the couch and run a marathon. No. You gotta just limber up. Let's call it limber up.
It's very good. So what we have in the HealthDrive is what I call the HealthDrive 5.
HealthDrive 5.
It's 5 questions that we'll ask everybody. And just try and get a feel for where you are in your head when it comes to medical things. You might think of something, you might not. And the first question is, what's your biggest health fear? Is there something that concerns you, that worries you most about your health?
Well, I think, Doc, it's probably a couple of years now we know each other. And you've had such beautiful ways in explaining things to my brain anyway, that's for sure. Anytime I had any concerns, and I'd come in and talk to you, and you'd put a great analogy together for me, and think about it this way, and I've always gone out of your office on a completely different mindset, which is a beautiful nature that you have. And recently, literally about a year ago, I'm pretty, when I say free living, I'm an extreme sports man. I've always done that all my life, and nothing's ever really got in my way. And for the very first time, I came back off a holiday, and my left leg wasn't feeling so good, and that was my first time introduced to a problem in my life. So I had a blood clot. Right? So I kind of sat on that leg for a couple of weeks, and I was like, oh, it's just getting a bit worse, and it's getting a bit worse. And like all men, or not all men, some men, but certainly me, usually things just go away and I crack on. But it kind of, as it got worse, my wife said to me, she said, I think you better go to the doctor. So I did. And he sent me straight to the A&E, and the A&E sent me straight up to this ward after doing it was like a scan, I guess it was an ultrasound.
Yeah,
ultrasound scan. And as the lady kind of went up to my groin area, her face changed to the point where she was like, oh, this doesn't look good. The way she kind of went from normal to problems. And I went, oh mate, I've obviously got a massive problem. So cut a long story short, they came in with this big syringe, stuck it in my belly and said, right, Mr. Lynch, you might be a lucky man here. You might be a lucky man. I've got away with a massive blood clot. And that was the first time in my life I was like, what do you mean I've got blood clots? I was 48 back then, I'm 49 right now, knocking on 50's door, which is fair enough. But the interesting thing was I was training every day because I was climbing Mount Kenya, I think it was. And so I was training for Mount Kenya and all that kind of stuff. And so I was fit. I was pretty fit and healthy. And so it kind of knocked me for six. It really took me by surprise. So I think, you know, this is my main concern. I think I will have my initial thing in life is blood clots. Like, what a surprise.
Yeah, that was, and I remember you saying, I mean, you dealt with it very, very well, but there's always, I think you know when you're in trouble when they call you Mr. Lynch. when they say, Shane, everything's fine. They say, Mr. Lynch?
Mr. Lynch with the wide eye.
That's right, yeah. And I think so I guess your concern, I guess, is that happening again, or what that means? Can you live the same? Is everything going to stop? Are you now old guy, you know, who just does old guy things?
Given face.
That's right, yeah. I mean, given today's excitement, clear. But yes, that issue really comes down to, I think, for you, probably a genetic issue. You know, because you weren't doing anything particularly wrong at that time, but there was just something in your makeup that meant that the blood got a bit sticky. And I said before, clotting happens because of three things. One, because the blood is sticky, the vessel is a problem, or flow is cut down. So if you're on a long haul flight and you cross your legs for 12 hours, the flow cuts down, you can clot. If you have damaged vessels, say trauma, damage your vessels, things don't clot properly, again, you wind up with a DVT or deep vein thrombosis. In your case, it's just simply you have a knack for making slightly thicker, clotty blood. So now they can deal with that with a medication, okay? And that turns you into someone who should be concerned about this, to really, you don't have that problem anymore. We've identified the issue and the gene problem. We have a perfectly safe treatment to make that a bit thinner than you want. You go about your life as you would normally. I think that is the key.
Question for you.
Yeah.
So in a blood type, is there any particular blood type known to have more clot issues, or is it just across the board?
So in terms of blood type, like my group A, B, O, nothing to do with that.
Right.
It's really to do with the way blood clots itself, and that is a very complex chain of events, okay? Like writing a song, okay? Someone has an idea for a melody, writes a song, then you wind up with musicians and produce. There's a whole cascade of things that happen for the clot or the song to appear at the end.
Right.
And there's just one error in that chain that means the clot doesn't form correctly in a way that can be formed and then broken down if you need to. It becomes solid, it can't be changed, it's irreversible. So really it's a question of this pathway. And some people just make certain errors in that pathway. But the key is, listen to the advice there.
Yeah.
Because it's hard sometimes to take medication, isn't it?
Yes.
Because to take it means, well, how did you feel when you had to take something every day? You weren't so keen on it.
I wasn't happy, no. And it's not that I wasn't happy. I think the advice I was given, so specifically they put me on a blood thinner called apixaban.
Yep.
And, you know, I kind of, in my psyche, I was like, I won't be on this forever. Because initially they said, you'll be on this forever. And I went, no, I won't.
Yeah.
And my brain was trying to find all types of alternatives. So I wasn't on this medication. Let's call it medication. Yes. And, you know, I did express my concern with that to you. And the most beautiful thing you did was change my whole brain on that. And, you know, the question was, do you take supplements? Yes, I love supplements. I take my day and night. You know, my Oxford Naturals day and night. So, you know, I love my supplements and I love additives to my body. So you put it in such a nice way of, don't think of it as a medication, think of it as the best supplement for your body that you can take. And instantly, Doc, I went click from, okay, of a, not a depressive state, but I think I was worried about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I drive race cars, and one of the things said, you know, the hospital was like, because I was in a championship at the time. I was actually driving, and I think I was winning the championship at the time. So they said, oh, you can't drive race cars anymore, because if you go off and you crash and you bleed out because your blood is thin. And they put the fear of God in me. They really put the fear of God in me. So I pulled out of the championship that year, and then, you know, ever since, I've just got back to my normal routine of training the way I train. I'm a pretty much an everydayer, but, you know, I think my brain just got back into Shane Lynch and my identity again, where I definitely lost a bit of my identity within that medication statement.
Yeah, like you've been sort of invalided in some way.
Yeah, really,
in
weirdly.
That way. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. And so, is there any aspect of that or any other medical issue that you wish you knew more about? That you wish anything you think, oh, I wish somebody would explain that to me? Anything that is...
I think maybe, you know, when it comes to the person or people that we are, I'm guessing, you know, we're not all the same, and our bodies aren't made up the same way. So, you know, you kind of look at life as, let's call it natural life, smokers and drinkers. And some people can smoke and drink all their life till they're 90, like your granny and granddad did.
Yeah. And
some people have massive issues and massive problems from a young age. What happens there?
Yeah. I think the key to long living tends to be, don't do what hurts you most. The problem is you don't know what that is when you're born. And you're quite right. You know, Uncle Fred smokes his whole life, you know, dies at 95. Okay, Uncle Gene does the same, gets cancer, heart disease, dead at 60. So clearly there are metabolic pathways. There are engines in the system which are designed to break down the bad things. Yeah. Okay? Whether it's bad cells that get created or bad toxins that get made. And we have these suppressor genes. They will suppress the cells going haywire. Because really every cell should be berserk. It should be like a 15-year-old boy on heat. Okay? But they're not, they're controlled. But when you lose control of a particular cell, it goes haywire and goes crazy. Now, if you have the gene that every day mops up the bad cells that get made by smoking and drinking, because they have an effect on cell turnover. If you have that gene that every day comes in and mops them up, you can literally smoke and drink until you're 120 and you'll get away with it. If you don't have it, then you just accumulate damage every day. Okay. And it really is, of course, we never know this about ourselves. We can do fairly detailed genetic testing now, which we can identify where your weaknesses are. You know, probably 0.1 of the population do that. Okay, but it does exist, and worthwhile if you're happy with the information to maybe look at which things you may be more prone to and which genes you possess and which ones you lack.
So I can come into your clinic, get a full MOT blood test, and you'll be able to tell me generally where I should go in life, what I should watch out in life, be careful here, flat out there.
Yeah, if you're okay with that information. Right. Not everybody is. Okay. You know, not everyone wants to know that. You know, they might think, well, if I tell you you've got more chance of this and more chance of this. In this country, often people say, I'd just rather not know. Okay. I don't want to carry that information around with me. Okay. And this is tricky, but where you would not want to have on your, when you're driving, you have all these gauges, all these gauges. I don't know what half of them were. Okay. If I came and blacked one of those gauges out, okay, I said, you don't know about that. You go, I'd rather know about it. Okay. So really, in our minds, we know that prevention and knowing all the information is best. But there is sometimes, because this is another question, is there a test? If there was a medical test and money was no option, is there a test you would get? Right. If there was no option, there was no...
medical test, no option. I mean...
Would it be an advanced cancer test?
I think it might be...
a body scan or a...
I think it would be an age test. In other words, you know, you should live till so-and-so age. At least you get half an idea. Yeah. You know, I mean...
Like a biological age test.
Yeah, biological age test.
I'm this age on the calendar. How old am I?
How much have I got to fit in?
Genetically. Because this is the other question, is how long do you think you'll live for? How long would you like to live for? Because weirdly, I sometimes say, look, we may have the power to change aging completely in 50 years, whereby you're 120 becomes the norm.
Really?
Who here?
So? You think we're going there?
I say, who here wants to live to 120? And no more than a third of people put their hand up.
Okay.
It's like, oh, so we want to die. We actually want to. So, if I put that to you, is that?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself living that long? Do you see yourself? Would you like to live that long?
Are we going back to biblical times? In operational body, yes, I think would be incredible to live that long, because I think the world at the moment is super fast.
Yeah.
The 100 years that we've just gone from to now has been incredible. Do I want to see the next change? Are we really going to what they show you on sci-fi movies? Like, where are we going? I don't know, but it's an interesting space. Yeah. My mum and dad are late 70s at this point, and pretty active. They're pretty good, pretty there, pretty with it. Live on a farm and they crack on. And I look at those and think, yeah, they're still great. So my immediate family is still pretty awesome. Would I like to go to where they are? They look pretty peaceful. They look pretty happy. They've raised their children. Yeah. It's almost their time now in life to enjoy each other again. So I kind of look at that as relationship sense. Yeah, maybe it would be a beautiful thing to get to. But I think in my own mind, I can't. I don't know why, but ever since, I've always had this 88 in my mind.
88?
Yeah.
88.
In my head, I've seen 88 as a young man.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just always been there.
Okay, so 88, that would be, in your head, that could be, but you wouldn't mind could be extended?
I'll extend it.
I guess what you're saying is, provided you're biologically well.
Yes, I'm going for 88. That's what I'm going for. And if I get past it, then great. But I'm trying to scrape my way to 88.
And if you could be a fit 88,
yes,
and then you might rethink things completely, because I suppose
108. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we look back at our grandparents when they were 50 or whatever, and they look older, mate. They look like they'd sort of checked out already.
Absolutely.
So 88 might be the new 58 in them. Amen. Because think about what we'll have thought up by then. Brilliant. And what about one habit? Okay, is there a habit that you do on a daily basis that has the biggest impact on your health, positive or negative?
Well, do you know what? Positive and negative. My positive side of things, without a doubt, is I've changed the way I work out, and I've gone back to really natural stuff. So rather than just pure weight training and in the gym and trying to have a great body and all that kind of stuff as we did as kids. I know we still do now, but I've kind of changed it to when I walk on the treadmill or an elevated treadmill, I'm carrying dumbbells. Yeah. So more natural physical exercise that my body should be doing as opposed to unnatural exercises. So I've changed to that, changed to kind of hanging from so dead hangs and stuff like that, trying to get longer and longer in my dead hands. So all my grip strength and my walk strength. So I think my 10 for 10 I'll call it. So 10 kilo dumbbell in each hand for 10 minutes on a slight incline. So I'm trying to get to that, just a powerful strength of a body as opposed to a sculpted, over engineered one. Yeah,
so it's a more sort of meaningful exercise which would maybe mimic life on the farm or something.
Yes.
And that's it, like you're carrying 2 pails or something to and from somewhere.
Exactly.
So daily exercise, meaningful exercise, activity specific, not just getting a gym body, but like a real body.
Correct.
In that sense. Yeah, I understand.
Getting it all flowing and all working for the right reasons.
And if there was one piece of health advice you would give to the nation, as people start watching the HealthDrive to learn about, is there? I can see how that exercise would be one. Certainly, is that the one thing you would say? I think you should. This is my best piece of health advice I can give the nation. What might that be?
I think that is. I've gone through many different disciplines of training and training styles, and so I think to get your natural body working in a natural way, and most people don't have to be embarrassed or fear the gym or think, I'm not running as fast as that person next to me, and I feel a bit awkward. A nice paced walk with a couple of weights. You don't have to do. For men, obviously, it's going to be a lot heavier. Your body has just got that bit more labour and strength as such. But for any women, any men, just to get a weight that you're happy in your hands with, because you'll pick up a weight initially, and go, oh, that's okay. Try and walk on a treadmill for 10 minutes. Oh, that's not okay anymore. So it'll surprise you, and I think that's definitely a health tip, because my body's responded amazingly to that compared to a lot of other training. Plus, another thing is a rebounder. I'm a small little 4-foot tramp bed. I have done in the past, and I've gone back to it now, is use my rebounder. I used to suffer massively from shin splints as a young sportsman, and after the rebounder, gone. I could run a marathon now. Shin splints gone. Whatever that's done for me. So I think the opening and closing of the system as you bounce and jump and everything tenses and releases and tenses and releases. I do that kind of 15 minutes, jump off and do a small little couple of press ups and 15 minutes, and just keep the whole body active that way.
Brilliant. So a daily routine that is realistic, functional, and actually helps you in day-to-day life as well, doesn't it really?
I believe so. And again, going back to your own household, your own privacy of your own home. A rebounder is easy. It's not big, heavy equipment. It's just pull it out from under the bed, do a little jump, get the system, wake up your system. Immediately. I do it before I do anything. I get out of my bed and straight to the gym, and that's
that is your warm-up.
That is get my whole body alive immediately.
Incredible, fantastic. Well, I tell you what, I could talk to you all day. I know you have more racing to do, so we've got one more. But I think I was again watching you today. This buzz that you get from the race, the noise and things. This is very good for your mental health in general.
Yes.
And in this day and age, I see there's a sign here for men's mental health club too. I think this is crucial too, isn't it? And I can see you enjoying yourself today, but I'll ask the question: are you okay?
Yeah,
you're okay.
I'm really
You
good.
seem to be having a good day.
I'm really
today,
good.
And I know life is never easy for all of us. We're all battling all manner of things, but I think you're in a good spot today.
Yeah, I think the peaks and troughs of life, the hills and the valleys of life. I think when we go through a hard time, they're there for a reason, and I do think it builds us as human beings in our mental strength. I know it can be tough, but I think to know happiness, you need to feel a bit of sadness. To enjoy happiness, you have to have a bit of a low to enjoy a high sometimes. And I think we're a nation of constant. I want highs. I want fed. I want dopamine. I want on phones and scrolling, and you realize the more time I spend on my phone is the faster you get scrolling, because you're waiting for that next hit immediately. And I'm not much of when I say a phone guy or a tablet guy, or I kind of like to stay in my own brain as much as I can. And this, without a shadow of a doubt, helps me to reach my peaks. My upwards, my adrenaline boosts, what gets me going as such, on an extremity. I will say it's an extremity. Race cars are not for everybody, but this is definitely for me. This is what runs through my veins, Doc. This is what keeps me flowing.
And what I noticed today is what a good teacher you are.
Oh yeah,
because I don't know two things about these cars. Okay, I try and flake it, but I know nothing about this sort of world, and you describe things really beautifully. And you use analogy really well. You took me through the process of this, the car, the engine, what you do, the thought processes. And I know someone maybe didn't enjoy school a hell of a lot, but you are a very, very good teacher.
Thank you.
And that's often a great skill. I think that shows real wisdom. I think is an ability to teach, isn't it? To teach well and respectfully. And when someone doesn't know something, don't make them feel bad about not knowing something.
Yes.
But just
break it down.
Make it easy. Invite them in.
Yeah.
And people always remember that. I think they'll remember when you took their area of potential ignorance, and rather than highlighting it, just took it in and actually turned it on its head into sort of nice innocent bewilderment and wonderment. And that was the energy there. And so we certainly had that today. So you've got more racing to do.
Well, what I'm going to do is see if the team will strap in an extra seat. I brought an extra helmet.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to give you a couple of laps.
Let's do that.
You ready?
I really enjoyed my time with Shane. He's a warm person, a very giving person when it comes to conversation. He's a great person to be around. He transmits a fabulous calm energy. And I really enjoyed learning about his take-homes about keeping healthy, about what he does in terms of exercise, being regular, and also just taking care of himself mentally where he can and getting the most out of his hobbies and leisure. And we can clearly see the man loves to drive. I don't drive with quite the same vigor on the HealthDrive, but it was really nice to share the car with him as well. That was a great experience for me. So keep healthy, keep watching the HealthDrive. Prevention is better than cure, making the country healthier, step by step, drive by drive. Catch out the other episodes, they are all terrific.